Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush, and today we are going to be taking a look at the recent game rebalance update here from the 18th. And the main changes here, the biggest one by far is the Skull Queen skeleton damage bonus reduced by 50%. That's a huge nerf. And then the enchanter gets a buff, damage increased by 25%. That is potentially quite good because that's going to increase the number of cards that it could be viable against, because before the attack was just pretty weak. The effect was useful, but that was the only useful thing about it. And then its health increased by 10%. So this makes it a little bit more viable, I think, for working against certain ranged cards. I'm wondering how it will do, like, say, against a Mage or a Shaman or something more like that. It already worked against the Phoenix, but, you know, the Phoenix, it takes a number of hits to take out, and then, you know, oftentimes the opponent would have some sort of, cards to work around that with. So, you know, they're expecting you to take out the Phoenix with something, and the enchanter just isn't the fastest thing to do it with, although it did work. But, you know, so those are two big things. Cannon shot reduced by 5%. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head what that's going to affect. And then castle health increased by 5%. So those seem small, and those are definitely going to be, I guess, more situational things. I feel like those must affect some certain balance aspect of the game, but I just can't think off my head what that 5% is exactly, what situation that's going to affect. So if somebody knows, maybe you can comment what that's going to affect. The other two are more obvious, so they're basically nerfing Skull Queen decks, and although of course I feel like they're still going to be viable just because skeletons are still pretty decent, but it's going to tone down the Skull Queen decks a bit. So let's jump in here with our Skull Queen deck and just run that first. Skull Queen Spectre deck. I can probably still win some matches with this, but I'm curious to see what this will be like. Let's just try to make sure we get out the Skull Queen here and just see how it fares against my opponent. I tried it in a match earlier and it still seemed okay, but the other thing to realize is that the damage wasn't the entirety of the Skull Queen's benefit, and the speed of the skeletons is actually still a pretty reasonable bonus for using the Skull Queen. That's still a pretty strong bonus there with the speed of the skeletons sometimes. So, because the speed alone can overwhelm opponents sometimes, so they might play arrows here. No, they're going to play Ice Elemental. You can see it's not hitting them quite as hard as it maybe was before. But still doing some damage nonetheless. So let's try to just focus on getting the catapult out here. I don't know. It still feels reasonable. Alright, let's get some more skeletons, see what they're doing. And so Skull Queen is gone. But they still actually did a fair bit of damage. And okay, we actually got that. That was getting a little bit closer at the end. I probably should have been more on the ball. But we did manage to still pick up a win with that deck. Because we're Skull Queen decks they were definitely one of the meta style of decks. Were they the best deck in the game? I don't know. Not necessarily. I honestly saw more rushing decks than anything else in the tournament. Like by far, more rushing decks than anything else. I shouldn't have played the Skull Queen quite right there, but let's just try and see if we can just get some more skeletons out here to see what's going on. I'm going to actually freeze that lane so that we can just get a little bit more time here with the Skull Queen actually out there. Okay, so now they're going to put the Mage in there. That's probably going to be the end of our time with the Skull Queen. So maybe we'll get another Skull Queen. Probably not in this match, but you never know. I think we can finish off this win, though. Doesn't seem to be too much of a problem here, especially with the catapult. Should be able to get this. So are skeletons decks still usable? I mean, for me at this trophy level, they still are. I mean, Skull Queen decks are still usable, especially with the Catapult. That's just a strong combination still. And the Spectre, still a strong combination. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do wonder how this is going to shift things. If we look at the top decks out there, I wonder if the Skull Queen is just not going to be very prevalent in them now. So, yeah, I mean, let's keep looking through here. I'm not seeing Skull Queens in these decks up top here. Here's a Skull Queen still, though. What does this deck have? It also has a Catapult and a Necromancer, so that gives some good other options. And then Cannon Shots, so kind of a fast-paced deck. You can see a lower mana fast-paced deck. And the point of that deck is probably still, like, works well with the Skull Queen's ability to get the skeletons moving really fast. That probably still works okay. Let's try and get a look at the enchanter here and see what might be different about it. Oh no, Black Witch has a ranged attack. Okay, here's what I was looking for, guys. Alright, so let's test this out right here. Enchanter versus Phoenix. Okay, so can 2 hit that now? Can 2 hit the Phoenix now? And as far as its actual attack goes, didn't really get to see much right there. How about against the Ape Pirate? How is it going to do against the Ape Pirate? Let's see. So it's not doing very much damage against the Ape Pirate. And it loses to the Ape Pirate. Okay. So it lost the Ape Pirate. It was able to 2-hit the Phoenix now. I think before it might have been a 3-hit, so that could be a bonus right there. More useful against the Phoenix, perhaps. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the thing is, like, its numbers look big on paper that it got buffed by, but its attack was already so small to start with that a 25% increase, that only brings it up to, at my level here, 98 damage, which is, that's per skeleton, so it's the same as about 2 skeletons. So, yeah, not very good. Or 2 archers. It's about the same as a pair of archers. That's where the attack, I think that's how that is. Right? That's per troop, 48 attack. So that would be about the same as 1 enchanter. So, and the archers cost 1 mana. The enchanter costs 5 mana. So you can see what I mean. Like, it's still mostly about the ability. I think maybe this just gave it a little bit more versatility against the Phoenix. I didn't get to use it against a Mage, I guess. But let's see. So 98 attack. What is the Mage at from me at my level? Where's the Mage? It's back here. How much health does the Mage have? 472. So with 183 attack, yeah, it's still going to lose to the Mage 1v1, right? So I don't know what it's supposed to be super useful against. Someone let me know in the comments. Because it did not work against the Ape Pirate. It does not. I don't think it will work against the Mage. I guess against a Wraith. 236 attack. So my level here, 236 times 2. No, the Wraith would still 2-hit it, right? I think it would lose to the Wraith as well. Well, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about that. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your thought in the comments about this. And what other types of content I should create. Maybe subscribe if you're new to my channel. And thanks for watching, guys. And stay tuned for more videos.